Hey, what's going on, troops? It's Crusty Old Crow back again to do another episode of the Tactical Perspective. How many ways can you say hello to somebody? Considering half my audience appears to be down in the States and further south and away from there, then I'll say buenos dias, como esta? That is about the extent of my Spanish. Guten Tag to the Germans and good night, mate, to the Aussies, and we'll move on from there. I am the Crusty Old Crow, as you guys remember, also known as Ryan, the retired veteran who decided to turn his hobby into a YouTube thing for something to do with his retirement. Went out the other day, I picked up that retro gung-ho you saw in my last video. I did a video on that, and today I was thinking I was gonna go on the hunt. Wanted to find Firefly. Wanted to find Grunt. Didn't pre-order anything, and no success. Ottawa, Ontario has a lot of Toys R Us and GameStops around there, and there's very little crossover with what the two carried, and I was on a mission to find something from the new wave, and I missed out on picking up some Snow Serpents, but I saw one that I really hadn't considered. I'd seen it on Amazon, and I was thinking to myself, it looks cool, but why? You're going to see a confused expression on my face a lot with this one. Today we're going to do number 80 in the series. We're doing Nunchuk. Oh my God, here comes the confusion. This is Ralph Nunchuk Baducci. I put Eminem on in the background because I always think of Eminem as a very scatterbrained, kind of all over the place success story. And this is how I view Ralph Baducci, but enough of that. I'm gonna turn that off. It's distracting, isn't it, to have music on in the background? So we'll just go over the box really quickly. I'll grab a trusty pointer over here, and as for the box, you got your digital render of our, it looks like a jungle themed Cadpat ninja named Ralph Baducci, and I had to look this guy up a line. He came around, I think, well after I had stopped buying G.I. Joe, I guess, or he was one of the ones that I purposely neglected because I didn't like what he was bringing to the table. Never have. Still not strong, and I'll talk about that in my video. So you got your digital render, you got your box art on the side. I like that box art. He does look like a very cool ninja in his own little way. He's got ninja weapons. And then they're represented up here on the digital render. You got yourself a very nice little knife that gets sheathed in his chest there. He's got two pairs of nunchucks, hence the name, Nunchuk. All right, and then he's got the two fighting curved edge long sword kind of things. And I thought these would click together and make some sort of bow staff, sword, spear kind of thing. I don't think they do. And then these got the fighting claws for your Wolverine effect. If you don't want to go buy a Wolverine and do a conversion, you've got that here. So there you go. This is another one where the naming convention doesn't make any sense, Hasbro, to me. And it goes back to, I guess, how the characters were written for the cartoon or the comic series, or straight up for expanding that toy market and making a lot of money. Why do we know Nunchuk's first and last name when you've given us, and we know this on the back, no second head? He has a permanently masked face. And no, that hood doesn't come off either. It's not a removable cowl like we've seen with Storm Shadow or Zartan. It is, it's permanently fixed on there, and I'm going to talk about it because I like it. But we have no alternate head for Ralph here. And so his identity is protected by the fact that you can never see his face unless you make your own head. Yet Kamakura, we only get that name for him. We don't get a full name or anything like that. We get alternate heads for him. So I kind of little confused about the naming convention still. But moving on to the back here, you got that digital render again. You know, he's a taller guy, coming in at 6'3", 6'2" inches. He's on average with the rest of your Joes. Doesn't have a backpack, doesn't have a gun, and I'm going to talk about that later. There's your PCFs, primary combat functions, represented twice in very small parts on the box. You have to go to Hasbro.com to look those up. Might as well scan that QR code while you're there and have a look at what all that is, and more digital render, or another blue version of the box art there. Legal gobbledygook, waste of space. All right, so that's that box. And then, yep, you want to know what it comes with? A Pelican case with the wrapped stuff. Nothing he had came wrapped in cardboard this time around to keep it flat. I didn't pay the piper. One of the claws did kind of close in on the other a little bit, but I know I can fix that with a bit of hot water. But aside from that, it was overall fine. I think I got lucky with the packaging, though. I feel like some of you that get this guy might have warped swords. Who cares about the nunchucks? They're meant to be bent, but the swords are always meant to be flat. Anyways, that's that. And then the box, again, not quite plastic free. We got the plastic retainers that I've clipped off, but there's the boxer with Nunchuk Ralph Baducci right there. Okay, so we've talked about the box enough. And now you guys know how I run this. I do a head-to-toe inspection, giving the guy a military-style inspection, point out the things I like and I dislike, and I talk about the things that I have some experience with or maybe a bit of knowledge with. That's the tactical perspective on it. It comes off as a criticism on the figure sometimes, or maybe it comes off a little bit as a mistake I think the designers made, or most of the times it's coming off as a real shout out to that creative team and what they do to bring these figures detail right up to the highest possible standards. So I don't think this is going to be any different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan that camera over. But today, when I focus on the playability and the tactical grade and all that, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Ralph Baducci while we look at him over here on the stand. Let me just move the camera over there. See if I can do that without it dropping. There he is. Okay, straight out of the box just a couple hours ago, because I don't like doing unboxing videos. I find them extremely distracting when you're trying to focus on your points. So I had to look up Ralph Baducci and figure out, who is this guy? Who are you, Ralph? What are you all about? I never had you as a child. Didn't even remember you were out there. And I see already that I have issues with this type of figure. So, guys, I get Storm Shadow, the ninja. I get him. Cobra dealing in black market affairs, and they deal with crime syndicates and foot soldiers and whatnot. Eventually, Japan's going to put one of their cartels out there for you to dip into and get you on the hook. And I can understand that relationship between a lone representative of a ninja clan and a terrorist organization. But then Joe Privilege comes in, and Joe decides, we're an unorthodox military. We might want to ninja ourselves. So they bring in Snake Eyes, who has a very personal relationship, so there's a conflict of interest with the ninja assigned to the Cobra clan, or the Cobra organization there, Storm Shadow. So I mean, there's some things that we just overlook because it's storytelling for cartoons and for comics, and it's all fine and good. But then we get into blue ninjas and red ninjas and more ninjas, and Jinx, it comes into play, and then Quick Kick. So many issues with Quick Kick. God damn it. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to buy the figure, but my God, could we just have a more stereotyped character? Anyways, what I'm getting at is then we get Kamakura and we get Ralph Nunchuk Baducci. And I start going, okay, well, how many ninjas are in a conventional military and how many should be in an unconventional military? It seems like we have a very odd number of ninjas, and the ninja clans, you can say they're noble, but they're training assassins, and assassins, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that noble. It feels like this ninja clan might be playing the Joes a little bit, getting their members embedded for the big, blindside reveal. That's just my own skepticism coming into play, I guess, and my own hypothesis. So there you go. That's Ralph Baducci. And looking at his file card, it says that he's the self-defense instructor for G.I. Joes. And I get it. That's fine. I'm sure they have quite a few self-defense instructors at this point of the series. And he's a martial arts weapons expert. Of course he is. That's why he's carrying them. But this is where I start going, okay, guys, what the hell? He's from Brooklyn, New York, right? So he's out of Brooklyn, just another ninja out of Brooklyn trying to make his way. You know how it is, right? You guys get it down there in Massachusetts, for fuck's sakes. It's just give him a break. He's a ninja. Anyways, a Brooklyn who obsessed about being a ninja, who got trained by the same clan, the Blind Master, up there in reputable Denver, Colorado, like all those hidden monk temples up there in the mountains in Denver. And he gets trained by the Blind Master, he gets trained by Snake Eyes, and he's now the hand-to-hand combat instructor. Sure. Okay, now we have the file card out of the way. I never knew that about the guy. So this is where I look at guys, and I'm looking at the comments here. Who went into buying Nunchuk wanting Nunchuk for the fact that it's Nunchuk? Like, who understands the madness that is this character, if anyone? If you guys could just let me know, that'd be great. Because I have no idea outside of what the file card just said, and I'm not going to go into Ninja Force with my mouth open and my eyes closed. I have no freaking idea what's going on with Ninja Force and what they really bring to the table that made it a marketable toy aside from a money grab on the figurines at the time. So, I mean, guys like D-Macasm, you've been there since the beginning, one of my first and best subscribers, and always bringing in the Joe knowledge and his own little perspective on the character, which I love hearing from D-Macasm, and I'm sure he's going to chime in on this video at some point and tell me what he knows about Nunchuk. But if anybody else knows anything about this spaghetti plate of a character here, let me know. Because right now, this guy's getting a lot of confused respect, I guess would be the word, but not necessarily the highest rating in my book. I'm not gonna be a liar, guys. I didn't find Firefly, didn't find Grunt, but I did find one of these, and it was because some guy didn't want his pre-order. And everywhere I looked, I'd never seen him, and I did like that uniform. I do like the look of this character, guys. It is an interesting look on this character. So, but I feel like they've misrolled this character's image, or they could have updated it a bit better. However, it's not on Hasbro and the guys who make the classified figures. This is a character that was written and that they've just come up with a design for. So from head to toe, I told you this cowl does not come off. His mask, this is the only head. You've got those blue Brooklyn eyes, you know, just like the death stare of all the ninjas you've ever seen when you've been going over to watch the Bruins kick the ass out of the Leafs. They've got that detachable tether, like the band there. Kind of wish this was just a slighter offset color from the rest of it, but it's nice texture and it's good shape. But it does limit some of the head articulation, as you can see. But there's no backpack to interfere with the length of it. So they did a little thing with that. And I'm, of course, going to talk about that at the end, what I did to make that a problem for myself. Okay, so the head, no real issues except for the articulation. And I'm not the biggest fan of knowing this guy's name and not being able to see his face. You know, what a beautiful Brooklyn baby that he is. Even Flint's over there going, what the heck's going on with this guy, right? There, I cleaned up my language. Look at me. I'm thoughtful and considerate sometimes. All right, so then going down to the shoulders, we have another articulation issue. Joes are known to have that butterfly, and it keeps getting better. Butterfly articulation, and then they've got the swivel arms, pinless elbows here, and then more swivel at the wrists, including back forth articulation and all that other stuff. That's all still present, but when you start adding more features to the character, as we know, it's going to start limiting the show, and these shoulder pads are not good to go. Okay, so They while they look really great and are really, I think, core to a lot of the look of the character, I feel he'd be empty without those pads. I do like them for this fictitious ninja warrior. But they do limit the articulation of those butterfly joints and some of the swivel. Okay, so just be aware of that. This is your standard character. It's not one of the premiums like the Snow Serpent is, or Snow Job, or Tripwire. God, I would have liked to have found Snow Job or Tripwire today. It's your usual in Canada, $35.99. It's right off the shelf. Go, go, go. Not quite sure why it's sold out here in Ottawa the way that it is, but so be it. Probably just because it's new. Anyways, I think that'll die down, and I think availability will be there. Here's that knife we talked about on the chest. You can see he's wearing a camouflage gi jumpsuit of some sort. And you can tell it's a gi because of the way the collar is, right? And I didn't move that belt down to see if he's got no, he's got another tactical belt underneath this other ninja tactical belt. And no traditional tie off for the gi. So it's like a converted gi style jumpsuit, right? Ninja type. So then we get down and you can see he's got that normal hinge articulation, and that is free moving and good to go. You can bend them back on, like do flips, do dodges, all that other stuff. If you're into the photography and the dioramas, storytelling with these figures is not difficult, not with Nunchuk here. He's good to go on that. But then he's got, I'm not sure what this is, if that's a smoke bomb or a smoke grenade or if it's a frag grenade. He's got a spherical grenade, and I want to think that that's probably an explosive grenade, not a smoke grenade. Doesn't look like a smoke grenade to me at all. The knife on the breast is a good spot for it. And there you go. It's a blackened straight blade and a very small hilt. And where did that just drop down? There it is. Record time finding that with my old man eyes. So it's a very small hilt on the blade, and I think I'm going to accent that with a bit of gunmetal or something just around the mid region of that to denote that. Maybe put some leather to that. Yeah, don't be afraid to convert your Joes, guys. If you got them out of the box, you're not selling them again, obviously, right? So moving down the figure, yeah, he's got that cross-strapped equipment there, which as we go over, you can see that really it's just there to hold the knife and the grenade, and that's about it. These hard pack partial sheaths for the swords, right? So I'm just going to pull one of the swords out because, well, I'll show you. It goes in there very stiffly, which you probably want, and then you got to kind of torque it out after, like, because it's got that hook on there, right? But they've used a lot of paint on the sword. They've got the green, the gray, and then the silver. And I do like the little nubs they've got just on the above the handle there. Like it's meant to kind of knock edges away at the last second or something like that. And he's got two of these. He's a paired weapon specialist. And then he's got his freaking nunchucks on the back. You know what? I'm getting frustrated doing that on camera. So there you go. He's got his freaking nunchucks on the back there, just like every Brooklyn kid is trained to do since kindergarten. And so that's about it for the accessories besides those clawed gloves you see on his hands now. Those are good little attachments. They slide in like they're a pistol grip. So no problems getting them fit and stay on. They don't depend on just the clip. Like they don't clip on the sides or anything. You actually slide the hands and they grip them. So that's good. Does it limit a bit of the articulation? Not really, because the gloves are already pretty thick and these gauntlets do a lot of the articulation interruption there as well. I should have made note of that earlier. Yeah, so the wrists and the shoulders are kind of limited in what you can do. The legs, you have no obstructions to the legs and the knees. And guys, I gave a really good review to my low light. Sorry, it wasn't a good review. It was my average one-take review, but I gave a positive review to low light. And then I started fiddling around with them a little bit more and noticed that one of my legs is actually locked up on that bottom knee. And I do find a little bit of an issue sometimes with new Joes that that is the one spot where you kind of have to really work it to get it free sometimes. And I was disappointed that I found that after I'd shot my video with low light. But I tested this guy. He's good to go on all that. Again, the base don't come with these G.I. Joes. I got that at GameStop. A pack of 3s for $10 or something like that. You can do no wrong there. So yeah, we got these fighting claws, and that's about her. I'm going to talk about his boots for a sec. He's got the ninja style wrap across his shins, and he's got the cat's toe, whatever, climbing boot. Your traditional ninja boot, I guess, just like, you know, probably the first pair he got at Christmas back in Brooklyn. Or Boston, wherever. Anyways, my point being is he's no problems with the footwear, and I do like this camouflage, and I'll show you guys why, guys. Because I started looking at him, I looked at photos of him online, and I'm like, there's something about him I'm seeing, and it's not registering with me what I'm seeing yet, and I'll see it probably when I buy the damn thing. And I did. I saw it immediately after. So I like that camouflage. He looks fantastic with a stalker next to him. I think is a good fire team for those two. Yeah, they're slightly different greens, but it's the same kind of almost like Balkan style camouflage. So I thought that was really cool. But what it was this mask and cowl piece here.
It didn't scream ninja to me. It screamed something else. And then having the armor plating on there and this camouflage, almost like he's a soldier, but yeah, he's still a, yeah, I get that he's a ninja. He's a close combat guy. But here's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what he looks like to me? And I just noticed something really effed up. Ah, no way, is it? Or maybe, yeah. They put my feet on backwards on my nunchuck. He's got his left foot on his right foot and his right foot on his left foot. Look at this. No wonder he's so dexterous and able to go. Like, look at his feet. They are inverted. I wonder if I can pop those off safely and get them off and fix them. I'm going to have to do that after the show. But all right, guys, everybody check Nunchuk's feet. Okay, and make sure, I mean, there's pigeon toe. I worked with guys who had pigeon toe, but this is not, already, he's not medically cleared for service. I'll tell you that, right? Like, no go. Sorry, Nunchuk, you need to have a job where you can sit down a lot or not dance or do something. But anyways, moving on. Let's just say his feet are fine. I thought about what he does remind me of, and I almost think he looks almost like he would make a really cool Mossad style, like Israeli style fighting force soldier. So I thought about like, okay, well, now that I've got my other gung-ho, I'll just slap that backpack on there, you know? And yeah, I gave him Snake Eyes Uzi at one point. I thought he looked good with that. That's a nice Israeli weapon for it. But I found he really worked well with just your standard issue AK, like a Kalashnikov in his arm. And now he's looking like he's kind of like I said, Israeli special forces kind of stuff going on there, while still retaining all of his ninja weapons, really. And yeah, so that's what I was seeing, that I was thinking, huh, yeah, he would look good alongside Dusty or Stalker at that point. I think he's going to look really good alongside Tiger Force Dusty, which, damn it, now I have a reason to buy Tiger Force Dusty. I wasn't going to do it because I already have a regular Dusty, and I didn't like buying variants as often as I have been, but I guess I'm going to have to do it. Sorry, guys, we're just trying to keep that steady. So there you go, guys. That is Nunchuk Baducci with my add-ons, how I think I should see him. I just think he should have a weapons loadout. He agreed. He's okay. You're okay. But we'll ditch that backpack. Clearly there was a balance issue with the backpack. Secrets, you need to sit down. Just sit down. You're okay. All right, so the thing about the... Oh my gosh, there we go. The playability grade and the overall tactical grade is I gotta be forgiving here. Like, I don't get the ninja appeal for any of this. It's fine. I can get over it. But I do think that he look. I have this problem with him having a pair of nunchucks, a pair of swords, and then a knife to defend himself. And then he's got a grenade. But he's got no pistol, and he's got, like, you even gave Scarlet ninja stars at some point in her life, but you never gave it to this guy. Like, where is his distance? Like, he can't trade any time for space by throwing anything or shooting anything, so he's got to get up close to the enemy. So if he's obviously going to be sneaking around the back lines, doing his thing, but if he's ever compromised, I mean... he better be damn good with those nunchucks with Jedi-like reflexes, because otherwise I think he's just going to get shot to death without some sort of firearm at his disposal. And again, with that hood and cowl, I'm thinking this is like I do like the appeal of the almost Israeli type soldier on the Joe. But I know that's not what they meant to do. And now look, he can't stand very well the way I have him with... Now that we've talked about his feet, because he's self-conscious about it, right? As we all would be. Just go sit on the couch. I'm gonna have to either have a look at seeing if I can fix the feet, seeing if there's a tutorial online, or take them back with the receipt and ask them if they've got another one that I can exchange them for. But yeah, what a weird thing. Like, now it looks okay, but I thought for sure these were backwards, and they are. I've got two of the same foot on this. That's why I'm almost I'm sure of it. It's both of them. He's got two right feet, or he's got two left feet, literally two left feet. My God, that's hilarious. All right, guys. So playability grade. Well, mine came with 2 left feet, so we're going with a D- on this one when it comes like that. But yeah, playability. If he was a fine figure and no issues, I would say he's hitting in around the B+ mark with no guns. He's not good. I have this this issue with them as far as the accessories all being close combat. And then if you're doing any photography or anything like that, he's really not of interest until you got him in a side-by-side with a Cobra figure to do any of that kind of stuff for photography purposes or any of that stuff. Like I don't know, not my kind of character. But I get that people like him. They liked him enough to give him a figure. And 2 left feet. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm pretty disappointed. I'm gonna go back to where I got him and ask about possibly exchanging that. But you know me. If you're gonna complain about something, be prepared to do something about it. And I am prepared to try and do a couple things about this. Clearly, with 2 left feet, I'm not gonna exchange one of them. So it's just now it's going back to the store. However, on the tactical grade, how do you give a tactical grade to a ninja working with a elite military strike force? I think without the guns, he's getting no higher than B- to C. And I'm actually going to go with C for him. He's got some cool ninja weapons tactically for a ninja. He's all right, but he's got nothing to really keep anybody at distance with, except for a pair of edge, and then everything is up close. And he's got 1 grenade he can lob, and then it's just strictly, you know, getting close. Let me beat you with my nunchucks. Let me beat you with my sword. Damn it, you brought a gun. Damn it, you know. Yeah, I have a real tactical issue with this figure, but I do like the figure if he had proper feet. So overall, I would say not a bad figure. I'm not going to penalize it much more for something I'm going to try and correct through the store I bought it. But that's it for today on that one. Guys, that's the only other video I'm doing on the figures for today until I go out and get another one. And then my next video, like I said, is going to be on this hovercraft. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to be showing it as I'm like a in progress kind of thing, like you see it here, or if I'm just going to wait till it's all put together. But there is a video coming on that. And then thank you for sharing with me my disappointing nunchuck, which I was trying to have some excitement about, but you guys all experienced my disappointment with me. I appreciate that. Hit like if you like this video enough despite my my poor fortune. And if you really like watching me suffer, then you can go ahead and subscribe, because it happens at least once an episode I suffer through something. Hey, you guys have been great. Good on you. You sat through the whole thing. I'll talk to you next time. All right, bye.